Every day, millions wake up chasing deadlines, rushing to jobs they secretly resent, scrolling through lives they wish they had. They pour all energy and commitment into work, bills, people, but leave themselves empty. They give their best energy to what drains them and the leftovers to what could change them. They spend more time maintaining appearances than building inner strength. And slowly, without noticing, they fade into a cycle of surviving, but never truly living. This is the quiet tragedy of neglecting your greatest asset, you. Because when you stop growing, the world doesn't wait. It moves on. The cost of not investing in yourself isn't just lost time. It's a life half lived. So today, decide differently. Make you your first investment.
You are the most consistent element in your own story. Everywhere you go too. That's why growth begins with you. Not the job, not the relationship, not the economy, you. When you invest in yourself, you don't just change your results, you change your reality. Self-investment is the bridge between who you are and who you're becoming. It's reading when others are sleeping, learning when others are complaining, and showing up when nobody's watching. It's not selfish, it's essential. Because when you grow, everything around you grows. The people you love, the work you do, the impact you leave, they all rise with you. Your transformation is the world's permission slip to change. Remember, your greatest return will always come from what you put into you.
One of the deepest pains in life is drifting without direction. Waking up unsure why you're doing what you're doing. Most people live in reaction, not intention. They move, but not forward. They work hard, but not purposefully. Yet clarity isn't a gift, it's the fruit of investment. When you read, study, and learn from mentors, you begin to see patterns, your strengths, your callings, your path. Journaling becomes a mirror. Reflection becomes your compass. Clarity doesn't arrive overnight. It grows with curiosity. The more you feed your mind, the sharper your focus becomes. Suddenly, life stops feeling random. It starts to make sense. Clarity is not found, it's created. And it's created when you invest in yourself.
Confidence isn't arrogance or noise. It's quiet assurance born from preparation. It's the inner knowing that no matter what happens, you can handle it. But that assurance doesn't appear magically. It's built in private. Every book you read, every course you complete, every challenge you conquer adds another layer of trust in yourself. The timid version of you fades each time you take small, bold steps toward growth. Confidence is cumulative. It grows with every disciplined action. You can't think your way into it, you build it brick by brick. The secret is to stop seeking validation from the world and start validating your effort. When you commit to your development daily, doubt begins to die quietly. Confidence is born the moment you start to invest in yourself.
Inside you lies potential you haven't even met yet. Talents buried beneath fear, distraction, and comfort. Life doesn't hide your gifts. It waits for you to dig for them. You find them in the doing, in the trying, failing, and trying again. Reading broadens your imagination. Mentorship exposes you to perspectives that unlock new parts of you. Sometimes One conversation with the right person can awaken a gift that's been asleep for years. You don't discover yourself by standing still. You uncover yourself by stepping forward. Each act of learning peels back another layer of possibility. The more you grow, the more you realize how much you were created to do. Your gifts won't reveal themselves to hesitation, only to those who invest in themselves. Life will always test you through disappointment, delay, and discomfort. Emotional maturity isn't about avoiding pain. It's about mastering your response to it. When you invest in personal growth through reading, prayer, journaling, or therapy, you learn how to breathe through chaos instead of breaking in it. You begin to separate emotion from decision, impulse from wisdom. Mentorship teaches you perspective, that setbacks are not punishment, but preparation. The storms of life don't stop. You simply stop being tossed by them. Calm becomes your strength, not your weakness. And the peace you once chased begins to live within you. Emotional stability isn't given by circumstance. It's developed when you intentionally invest in yourself. Comparison is the thief of contentment and the enemy of growth. You lose yourself trying to measure your journey against someone else's highlight reel. But when you invest in your own evolution by studying, improving, and growing daily, your focus shifts. You stop asking, why them, and start asking, what can I learn? The need to compete fades when you realize that your race is unique. Reading stories of other journeys teaches you that every success has its season, every purpose its pace. The only person you're meant to outgrow is yesterday's version of you. The moment you recognize your own worth, the comparison ends and the confidence begins. The cure for comparison is not competition. It's commitment to invest in yourself. Discipline is the bridge between potential and reality. It's what turns your intentions into results. Most people wait for motivation, but motivation is fleeting. Discipline is enduring. When you create a habit of study, show up for mentorship, and hold yourself accountable, you're teaching your mind that commitment matters. You train your body to move even when your feelings don't agree. Discipline turns dreams into structure, and structure into success. Every early morning, every quiet hour of study, every moment of saying no to distraction, they compound. The life you desire is not built in one leap, but in 1,000 disciplined steps. Your dreams don't need more desire. They need more discipline. And discipline grows when you invest in yourself. There's a deep peace that comes when you can rely on your own word. Self-trust is built every time you keep a promise to yourself. When you say, I'll read today, and you do. When you say, I'll finish this course, and you complete it, your brain learns to believe you. That belief becomes strength. You stop waiting for others to validate your choices because you already trust your own voice. Mentorship helps, but follow through solidifies it. Every consistent action tells your soul, I've got me. And that's power, not pride, but alignment. The world begins to treat you according to the way you treat yourself. Keep your own promises. Build your own trust. That's how you invest in yourself. Growth takes time, but in a world of instant everything, patience feels like punishment. Yet real progress happens quietly, beneath the surface. The seed doesn't sprout the same day it's planted. Reading biographies, studying great achievers, listening to mentors, you'll notice a pattern. Patience was always part of their power. The process taught them endurance, humility, and wisdom. When you invest in your development, you stop rushing results and start respecting timing. You begin to see waiting not as wasted time, but as preparation time. Patience is not passive. It's proof that you trust the process. The delay is not denial, it's development. Stay planted, stay learning, stay growing, and always invest in yourself. The marketplace rewards value, not effort alone. And value comes from growth. Every new skill you learn, every certification you earn, every book you finish adds currency to your name. Self-education is the new form of promotion. When you understand your craft deeply, opportunities stop ignoring you. People pay for excellence, and excellence is never accidental. Mentors and coaches refine your edges, turning raw potential into rare ability. If you want to earn more, become more. If you want bigger opportunities, expand your capacity. The world reflects your investment. It always has. When you make yourself the asset, you become unstoppable. So sharpen your skill, raise your value, and remember, your best return is to invest in yourself. Growth creates access. The moment you decide to better yourself, life starts responding differently. New people appear, new rooms open, new possibilities emerge. It's not magic, it's alignment. When you study, evolve, and elevate your habits, you attract the environments that match your new mindset. Mentorship expands your network. Learning expands your vision. Opportunities don't chase potential, they chase preparation. That's why when you upgrade you, everything around you upgrades too. The world is full of open doors, but only the growing version of you will recognize the keys. Don't wait for a lucky break. Build the capacity to hold one. Opportunities favor the prepared. Preparation begins when you decide to invest in yourself. True confidence isn't loud. It's built quietly through competence. Every time you learn, practice, and master something new, your confidence compounds. You no longer have to act confident, you become it. Reading books, studying your field, and surrounding yourself with mentors turn knowledge into muscle memory. You stop doubting your worth because your skill speaks for you. Confidence grows when you no longer depend on luck, but on preparation. You walk differently when you've earned your edge. You speak differently when your voice is backed by wisdom. Confidence isn't given, it's built brick by brick through growth, learning, and persistence. If you want to stand tall in any room, don't chase validation, build value. The best way to do that is to invest in yourself. When you don't invest in yourself, you live for the moment, reacting to every wave of emotion and opportunity. But once you start growing, your perspective shifts from now to next. You start thinking strategically. Studying personal development and financial literacy teaches you that success is not built overnight, it's built over time. Mentorship guides you to see beyond instant gratification into generational impact. You start saving, planning, and preparing, not because you fear tomorrow, but because you're building for it. Long-term thinkers don't get distracted by temporary noise. They're driven by future vision. Short-term comfort fades, but long-term growth compounds. Plant today what you want to enjoy tomorrow, and never stop investing in yourself. The quality of your relationships often mirrors your level of growth. When you evolve, your circle evolves. You stop chasing people who drain you and start connecting with those who inspire you. Mentorship helps you identify the energy that builds you versus the one that breaks you. As you read and learn, you develop emotional intelligence, the ability to communicate with understanding, not ego. You begin to attract people who match your maturity and respect your peace. Growth becomes magnetic, and soon your environment becomes an extension of your progress. Healthy relationships don't just happen, they're drawn to the version of you that's healed, focused, and growing. To attract better, become better. Invest in yourself. The world can be unpredictable, but the mind you build can weather anything. When you invest in learning through books, reflection, and mentorship, you equip yourself with tools to face life's storms. You stop breaking under pressure because you've trained your mind to adapt. Growth rewires your thoughts from, I can't handle this, to, I can grow through this. The difference between those who crumble and those who rise is mental endurance. And endurance is built through consistent self-work. Every challenge becomes a classroom. Every pain a professor. Life will test your mind before it rewards your effort. Strengthen your mental armor daily. That's what it means to invest in yourself. Most people drift because they've never paused to ask, why am I here? Investing in yourself gives you that clarity. Through self-reflection, reading purpose-driven books, and listening to wise mentors, you begin to align your life with meaning. The noise of confusion fades and direction replaces distraction. You start making decisions that serve your destiny, not your emotions. Purpose simplifies life. It gives your days order and your pain meaning. When you know where you're going, every no and every yes becomes strategic. You're no longer just busy, you're intentional. Purpose is not found in noise, but in nurture. And nurture begins when you choose to invest in yourself. Every time you learn, you rewrite history. Not just yours, but your family's. The moment you choose growth over excuses, you become a bridge for those behind you. Reading, studying, and seeking mentorship expose you to new ways of thinking that your lineage may never have known. You begin to see beyond survival into expansion. You create new standards of excellence, discipline, and vision. Your success becomes a blueprint for those watching you. You don't just change your life, you shift the narrative for generations. Legacy begins the moment you decide that it ends with me. The fear, the lack, the limitation. And that transformation starts the moment you invest in yourself. Growth doesn't just sharpen your mind, it frees it. The more you study, explore, and expose yourself to new knowledge, the more creative you become. Reading fuels imagination. Mentorship helps you connect ideas. Experiences broaden your thinking. You stop seeing problems as obstacles and start viewing them as opportunities. Innovation isn't born from genius. It's born from curiosity, discipline, and courage. When you invest in your mind, you unlock solutions others can't see. You create, build, and lead with originality because you've expanded your perspective. Creativity is the reward of a growing mind. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep believing. Your next breakthrough begins when you invest in yourself. Money follows mindset. When you don't invest in yourself, you repeat the same cycles, earning, spending, regretting. But once you commit to financial education, everything changes. You start reading about money management, studying how wealth is built, and learning from mentors who have walked the path. You understand the difference between income and assets, between looking rich and being free. Self-investment teaches you discipline, to budget, to save, to multiply. You stop chasing quick wins and start creating lasting systems. Financial freedom isn't about luck, it's about literacy. When you grow in knowledge, you grow in capacity. The most profitable portfolio isn't in stocks or property. It's in your personal growth. That's why the smartest investment you can make is in yourself. Leadership isn't about titles. It's about transformation. When you grow, people feel it. They start looking to you not because you demand attention, but because you embody it. Investing in yourself through mentorship, studying human behavior, and mastering communication gives you presence. You learn to inspire, not instruct, to influence, not impose. Great leaders aren't born charismatic. They're born curious. They study, they listen, they grow. Every leader you admire was once a learner who refused to stay the same. The more you evolve, the more others trust your direction. You cannot lead others until you've led yourself. And that journey begins the day you decide to invest in yourself. When you invest in yourself, you begin to discover that growth isn't just external, it's spiritual. You start realizing that true peace isn't found in possessions or applause, but in alignment. Study brings you wisdom, prayer brings you grounding, and mentorship brings you guidance. You learn to let go of control and embrace trust. The chaos around you might not change, but the calm within you deepens. Faith grows when fear shrinks. And fear shrinks when you understand who you are and whose you are. Peace doesn't come by chance, it's cultivated through daily growth. Nourish your soul as much as your mind. That's how you invest in yourself. Many start strong, but few stay steady. The difference is consistency. Investing in yourself trains you to show up, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one's watching. You develop the muscle of persistence through study, mentorship, and practice. You begin to understand that real success isn't built in bursts, it's built in rhythm. Every page you read, every goal you pursue, every lesson you apply becomes a brick in your foundation. Consistency turns average into excellence. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present every day in small, faithful steps. The world rewards the steady, not the sudden. So keep showing up for your own growth and never stop investing in yourself. Growth is contagious. When you invest in yourself, your life becomes living proof that change is possible. Your story inspires someone else to rise, to heal, to believe again. The lessons you've learned through mentorship, study, and self-discipline become light for those still in the dark. You stop preaching improvement and start embodying it. Your transformation becomes a message louder than any words could say. The world needs examples more than it needs opinions. And every time you grow, you become that example. Your journey is not just for you. It's for everyone who will find courage through your growth. So keep rising, keep evolving, keep investing in yourself. Life changes the moment you realize that you are the project, the masterpiece, and the mission. Everything begins and ends with how much you value your own development. The money, the peace, the love, the purpose, they're all reflections of the investment you've made within. The journey from point A to point B isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Every book you read, every mentor you learn from, every moment you choose growth over comfort moves you closer to your best self. The greatest return doesn't come from what you buy, it comes from who you become. So take the risk, take the class, take the chance, because the greatest investment you'll ever make is in you.